It's a lot different than Under the Bridge. We're live, by the way. We should kill that song since we're on YouTube now. I almost went crazy, and I almost selected 4K for our YouTube resolution because StreamYard just rolled out an update with that. But when you go to select it, they give you a warning as if you're about to, do crystal meth or something like that. They're like, you got to have some pretty good internet if you want to do this. Like, are you ready to handle this 4K streaming? I don't know if you are. And I was like, you know what? I actually don't know if we are. So maybe I'm not going to select the 4K.
That is so not what I would be thinking, Pierre. I'd be like, is my skin ready for 4K? Because I know my internet isn't, but my skin, I'll be like, got to get the makeup on there. Obviously, you guys have great skin, so you might not thinking about that.
Oh, I don't. I have pimples on my face. I got a shade.
Yeah. Oh, ouch. I can see it. I can see it. Imagine that in 4K. Nah, you're not ready, man. You're not ready. None of us are ready.
Well, anyway. Goodness. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Daily Bone Podcast, ready to discuss all things crypto market, including Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, meme coins, and of course, NFTs. Today, we got to briefly discuss the CFTC's attack on Uniswap. We're going to talk about U.S. jobs data. Nick's ready to dive into that. What was that, Nick?
I said, yay.
What do you want to talk about, Nick?
The CFTC.
What do you really want to talk about?
And their attack on Uniswap.
What do you actually want to talk about?
I want to talk about content for 75% of the show.
Well, that is interesting. Let it rip. Let's just start. Go ahead.
Kidding.
What? But you do want to talk about that?
No, it's not something that. I've been having a lot of thoughts about our own business, but and how we clean this up even further. I got some great ideas, but that's not for the show.
Let's fucking go. Love to hear it. There's some big announcements from Yuga Labs, one of the better known NFT focused organizations. So very interesting. And of course, we'll touch on U.S. jobs data and how many people think that the recent U.S. jobs data is going to lead to a 50 basis point cut in September. We're going to know in just a few weeks. Easy said that Easy predicted a 50 basis point rate cut in September, and Nick said that he was, quote, smoking crack.
Yep. He actually said, you are an absolute idiot.
Is that true?
One sec. Let me adjust that real quick. Sorry.
People are commenting that they're static on Twitter Spaces, Nick. Perhaps you can disconnect and reconnect the phone for a moment. Something like that. Make sure that all of your connectors are on point.
Yeah.
Someone said, is the X audio cooked? Or is it just me?
I'll fix it. 1 second.
I'm going to assume that cooked is negative, not cooked like filet mignon.
Usually a poor overcooked.
It should be better. How's everyone doing on Twitter Spaces? Can I get a thumbs up if this audio is way better?
Shout out to Twitter Spaces, man. Give us a thumbs up. Write a comment on X platform, or I guess on YouTube. Because we'll see that.
I see someone crying. Oh shit! Hold on.
Oh shit!
No, sorry. My apologies. I think this should fix everything right here.
Ooh, one thing Nick is incredibly good at is technical troubleshooting in the moment. Oh wow!
Every day audio is good now. They're saying audio is good now.
Boom, audio good now. Just like that, ladies and gentlemen. You see that? That's how it can go. It can go like that. Look, we're going to get into our weather report in just a second. But first, I want to just shout out the partners of today's show. You've seen us do a fun little, filmmaking style promotion for them. We've got some other really cool ideas for future stuff that I don't even think we've pitched to them yet. So I don't even know if they're on board with this. We'll probably just make it anyway. Anyway, today's partner is, of course, BullX, which BullX, I'm pronouncing it in the way that we might be pronouncing it in our little skit that we make. But anyway, this is a multi-chain trading platform with support for Solana, for BAYC, for Ethereum, and most recently, actually, for Tron. So if you're not familiar with BullX, what BullX is you can kind of think of it as a suite of tools that are designed to give you a leg up in the meme coin trading game. So it lets users deploy wallets, buy and sell tokens, manage their positions. They have one feature called Pump Vision, which actually provides insight and a real-time dashboard into what the new Pump.Fund tokens are, and also the tokens on Pump.Fund that are about to graduate, which is pretty cool. They have limit order options combined with automation that will let you actually deploy your strategies without having to, be actively trading, which if you trade meme coins, you know that a lot of people complain that you need to like be in diaper season and actually just fully glued to your computer screen. The idea is that if you use BullX, that's not necessary. They also have a charting terminal, which anybody that's a technical trader obviously needs. It lets you track multiple token charts in the same window. You won't miss any price movements because you have the visibility. And last but not least, there's a wallet management feature too that lets you actually create wallets with one click and create wallet groups. So this is really a very comprehensive suite. Think of it as a layer on top of your meme coin trading. So you can sign up at bodogos.com/bullx, BULLX. There's not that, it's fantastic when we have partners that are super duper directly in line with, our organization, our audience, what we talk about on the show. And obviously BullX is one of those. Easy, did I miss anything about BullX?
No, I think you covered everything. If you're using the Tron version right now, there's a bunch of early features that they've rolled out. Multi-charting view, a variety of other things that they've continued to streamline that are going to be coming to the main iteration here in the near future. So regardless of what chain you're on, BullX has support for all of it. It's hands down the best trading tool that I've been able to use, which is great.
We're pumped about it. Yeah, can't wait to drop more content. We got a funny idea that I think BullX will go for that we're gonna let rip. So shout out to BullX. That is bodogos.com/BULLX. Signal, let's rock and roll with this weather report. We're ready to cook here. Let's do it.
Yep, absolutely. Let's get into the weather report on Thursday, 5th February. Let's do this. I looked at the crypto roundup. The majors were about pretty much even on the day, with Bitcoin at 56,500, Ethereum just shy of 2,400, and Solana at $133. Nick, I still haven't been given the 2 sol that you owe me. I'll be following up over the past 24 hours.
As well, just saying.
Firstly, easy, we'll double chase him.
Hey up.
Firstly, the CFTC has issued a cease and desist order to Uniswap Labs. We just spoke about that. The CFTC claims that Uniswap Labs illegally offers leverage retail commodity trading. The order comes with a $175K fine and requires the labs to cease derivatives offerings. Secondly, next up is job data. It's Nick's favorite subject. They released yesterday and showed that job openings fell from 237,000 this month. This missed the estimates by almost 400,000 jobs and fell to the lowest level since Jan 2021. Rate cuts futures markets reacted to the data as the odds of a 50 basis point cut in September just jumped from 21% to 37%. And then lastly, finally, Yuga Labs has rolled out some of the major announcements yesterday. They announced 3 very cool things. First of all, September the 12th, next week, you've got the launch of Dookey Dash Unclogged. That is going to feature, again, huge prize pool, $1 million. Then they also released details of a partnership with BMW of creation of an ape car with art to be voted on by the ape holders. And then lastly, they also released a partnership with BAYC about a beer that will be coming soon. So you've got beer, cars, and gaming all hitting Yuga Labs. That is all for the weather report. It is back to you folks in the studio.
Let's stay on this for a moment. Fantastic weather report, by the way, Signal. I want to stay on this for a moment. I want to see what Nick thinks. First of all, going back to Dookey Dash, not Douchey Dash. Dookey Dash is a good idea. That's a good idea, in my opinion, because it actually worked the first time. It attracted the gentleman Mongrel, if I'm not mistaken, was the gentleman's name, that won $1 million prize through Dookey Dash. And they're doing that again. I wonder where, I guess the millions just coming from their, their capital. I don't know.
I gotta think ApeCoin, other things as well. Like when they say $1 million+ prize pool, it could be different prizes. It doesn't have to just be straight cash, like $1 million in value.
Did you see the ape chain was dunking on me? What was that about?
When? I missed that.
That was weird. What weird.
Happened?
I just caught a random stray from ape chain.
What can we see it? I didn't know. When? Yesterday?
Yeah, it's basically a chart of showing the fuckability of
what the fuck?
Has sex, doesn't have sex.
Wow.
Fucks, doesn't fuck. And I'm in the doesn't have sex, doesn't fuck quadrant.
Well, I mean, that's where I would have put you.
Kind of wild, the official chain page posted.
Like what? Why is this coming from the ApeCoin account?
They hired someone for when Nick, you responded. How would you? Whoa, that's bullshit that your response only has 2 likes. Well, that shows how down. Wait a minute, 753 views on this. Holy shit, their engagement is in the gut.
Gutter. Absolute dumpster.
It's a reply
It's
to
a reply. What's the original tweet's engagement level?
9,000 impressions.
It's still not that strong.
It's like a deep reply.
No, I get it. Oh, got it. Okay. Interesting. Okay, so they hired a social media person. He thought that this was something funny to post, which objectively it is.
Oh, it's very funny.
It's funny. Good job to the person that's doing it. Obviously, if it was you that they put in the doesn't have sex ever column, which it seems like is where they put you.
And have sex, really? When was the last time it had sex?
I would actually probably bet money that you've had sex more recently than the person that created this did.
Maybe.
Wow. Well, I didn't see that coming. Well, anyway, back to Yuga Labs and the 3 things that Signal pointed out, which is Dookey Dash Unclogged, which I do think is a good idea. And Nick, I'm assuming you probably think that it's a relatively good idea. The first one was pretty successful. The second thing is that they're going to do this custom BMW car, it sounds like. So an official partnership with BMW. I have questions about the structure of this because when we've seen these things in the past with NFTs, it's borderline negligible, the impact. And the thing is that they're involving the community in this design, but I don't know if that actually is going to, number 1, yield the best result, and number 2, actually get anybody objectively excited, because the thing that's going to get them excited would be the price of the assets going up. And I don't know if this contributes to that. Plus, again, I don't think that the best design is necessarily going to come from that approach. I don't know if anybody else has any other thoughts on this. And then last but not least, beer. If anything, the beer is kind of interesting. If it's a good beer.
What type of beer it is. And I don't understand. They need to make a non-alcoholic beverage if they really want to hop on the right trend, dude. Like, what do they think?
I hope the car gets to go to the I can't remember the official name, but it happens in Geneva, the Geneva Car Convention. Because I feel like the eyeballs that's going to see the car in Lisbon will be the same eyeballs that already knows about, the artists and Bored Ape, etc. But if that car can be featured in at a bigger car event, then that would be really cool, because then it's actually in front of a completely different audience and a completely different set of eyeballs with a lot of foot traffic.
Well,
and the drink, the drink would have to taste cool. Good.
This is their second vehicle. They did the Mutant Mobile, which was like a 2004 Honda Civic that they redid, and it's got giant teeth on it and some other stuff. This one's more interesting though, because it's 5 artists and the Bored Ape community is voting on it, so you'll actually see the designs before they're on the vehicle, like mock-ups.
Okay. That makes sense. That makes sense.
Yes, 5 artists, and you vote whose design actually gets put on it to then see it in person.
5 actual good artists is the
community artists. It's community artists.
Well, they'll be good.
So, and these are the 5 artists. So these are their general design. So you can kind of infer what it'll look like on the vehicle. Yeah, it'll be interesting. I don't really these are their mock-ups, and you can vote right now. That's
my vote is number 3. Bejado.
See, I like Plauser, number 2.
I'm 4.
I think it'd be really interesting. 4 just looks like it's gonna be BMW blue with some swirls in it.
No. Because you have to think, right? That's gonna be hopefully a skin on the car, like a second skin,
a wrap,
on the car, and it's like a wrap. So if that is done right, that could be a sick wrap. I'm thinking more wrap rather than But
if you look too, the description, it's an XR artist and stop motion animator. So theoretically, could it have some cool scan 3D type stuff to it with the virtual reality XR style stuff? That would be pretty cool. We'll see. So yeah, these are their mock-ups that you can even see. This is what it would look like.
Sorry, Nick, what are you thinking about?
How do I see the mock-ups? What page?
Scroll up just slightly.
What page?
You click on artists and then click in. So the sketch is what it'll look like.
I sent a link in the private chat.
All look like shit. Oh no, this one looks pretty good. Hold on, I like the first one. The first one looks pretty cool. The one
this dude wonders why Abe Kane's saying he doesn't have sex.
Maggie
shitting on the Abe community.
Maggie Mac or whatever. So these are interesting. They are interesting concepts actually. And so how do you win the car?
I have zero idea on how they win the car. Is it? I don't know. I don't actually know.
Ray, any insight?
I do not see. It's going to be at Lisbon, but I don't see like they're giving it away there or what. So Ape Fest Lisbon, it's going to be revealed. So I don't think there's any details on a giveaway or if it will even be given away.
I think I like Maggie Max or whatever the name is the best. Yeah, the first one is pretty cool. That's the only one that I think is good. But I don't know if I would want this particular. I don't know if I'd want this on my
On your vehicle.
on my vehicle. Yeah. The first one and then maybe the second one is like okay. The second one is definitely a little more of a statement. But yeah. Oh, you can see the pattern right there. That's one of them. What page is this on? Is this one of the artist
This is
pages?
the fourth, yeah, the fourth artist, Rida.
I didn't see when you scroll down that it shows the pattern, but yeah, I don't love this one. It looks kind of like snakeskin.
I think it's inspired by Louis Vuitton.
That's what it says.
Well, there you go.
I'm inspired by William Randolph Hearst, but it doesn't make me a billionaire media mogul.
Nice. All right, well, moving on. We'll see how it plays out with this car, the beer, and the game. The game is very interesting for sure. What was I going to say? So moving on to rate cuts and jobs data. The odds of a 50 basis point September rate cut have jumped to 36%. Easy was apparently smoking crack, according to Nick. Seems that he's correct. Joe McCann has just been saying this is going to happen every week for quite a while. Looking pretty good here. Looking pretty good. 50 basis points.
Is this the highest odd one, or where are we at right now?
Let's go to the overall odds. There you go. 25%.
62% on 25 basis points.
Yep. Mm-hmm. What do you think, Nick?
I'm still on 25.
Okay. We're going to have to see.
When do we find out?
When is the next
September 18th.
September 18th. 13 days, buddy.
Let's get it. I'm excited to see what Apple releases with their new iPhone next week. Is there any polymarket odds on that?
What number are we on now? Is that 19 or 18 or 17? I can't remember.
16.
Oh, 16. Sorry, I lose count of when the iPhones, when they need to stop counting now. I feel like it's getting old. I don't know. I'm a big MKBHD fan, and I always find that he like every year that he does it, he's like, there's nothing new. The camera's better. It's slightly smaller. The colors changed. So I don't get really that excited about the Apple iPhone updates anymore.
There's also the new GoPro that just came out. That's another technology thing. I'm kind of like, I never used the GoPro, but I'm thinking for like street stuff, having like a hidden version of it is actually kind of interesting when you're talking to someone. It is quite visible in the size that it's at right now.
Could put it in a crossbody fanny pack or something, maybe.
Yeah. Well, they made it for they add, this one has interchangeable lenses, which is very interesting. I don't know enough about why. Well, the battery is also better. Pio, as you know, our battery is always dying on our GoPros.
We haven't used the GoPro much.
We use them so often, and so yeah, that's one. We bought, like, I literally have them in like boxes. Like
How many did you buy?
I think like 3.
Yeah, it's not that bad. We're ready to cover any sort of vehicle related stuff. Changing gears here, Iggy Azalea, maybe the most notable celebrity coin dropper of this cycle, has declared that you can pay with her mother token for a 20% discount to the Breakaway Music Festival. Okay, so the very well-known Breakaway Music Festival here. It's the official crypto payment at the festival. Mother is at a $36 million market cap. If I'm not mistaken, I think she's actually potentially booked. I don't know if this was trolling or not.
She's at Breakpoint.
So she's booked at Breakpoint to
debating Eric Wall.
That's real?
So all the Breakpoint panels this year are not panels, they're debates. Every single one. There'll be, I think, 20-minute debates, and all the keynote talks will only be 5 minutes. So they're really leaning into the ADHD culture this year, where it's hyper fast, hyper, like, very quick everything.
And
all
focus on conflict.
Yes, everything will be a debate. So they want some form of like, and yeah, I think it's awesome, like some engagement back and forth. And it seems like it's going to be pretty funny. Like they're firing shots. It's definitely the most active two that I've seen on the timeline as far as the debate stage.
Whoever came up with that, that's a great idea, because just sitting on these panels or listening to the panels is just trash. So if everything's going to be a debate, that's awesome. Can I put all the money I've ever made in my life on Eric Wall? Is that something that I can do? Is anyone taking odds?
No, I would take Iggy. Honestly, I would take Iggy. Having heard her in spaces, she sounds far more intelligent in spaces when you're listening to her than you would think. Like if you haven't heard her speak, you kind of have this preconception of how you think she talks, and then when she does talk, she doesn't meet that preconception. And I think when she's going to be depending how kind of like serious they make the atmosphere, I think she could come across a lot more charming and less defensive than Eric Wall. I think Eric Wall might come in with the whole like, this is, it's ridiculous, blah, 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 all the, normal comments that we get. But I think her business savviness and her charm will win the debate if it's only 5 minutes. My money is on Iggy.
You can take that bet all day. I'm going to firmly bet on...
It's not about being who's smarter in a debate. Like you put Trump against Kamala, Trump will win simply on wit. Kamala will be like all prosecution mode. He'll win simply on wit. And I think that's the angle that's something that Iggy has that Eric doesn't, which is charm and witfulness and light humor. So my money's on Iggy.
Whoever wrote that response for Iggy, that was really good right there. Eric, you having my number is not realistic. So whoever wrote that is very strong.
She comes out, says it's her Twitter. She says it is her. Like quadruples down that no one has access to the Twitter.
One factor, she's Australian. The Australians have that wit. They'll cook you. That's the one thing. I'm still going with Eric Wall all the way. His track record with this stuff, he cooks. I'm going with Eric Wall. Nick, anything to add here before we move on?
Nick should not place any further bets as he's currently in debt about 4 Solana. So until that's
completed. It's not 4, it's 3. I didn't bet you 2 Signal. It was 1.
Okay, I'll check the receipts. I'm happy to, you know what? I just want to see something because I'm seeing 0, Nick, right now. I see a big fat 0. So if you're going to send that 1 over, I'll be very grateful. And I won't have to bring it up embarrassingly at every show.
There's a time to provide the deliverables. Like there's a settlement period.
This is pretty funny. This is like really funny that this is going back and forth. But anyway, someone asked what the topic is. I believe that if I'm not mistaken, the topic is whether or not all celebrity meme coins are bad. If I'm not mistaken, right? Ray would probably know. Like, basically, is there any place in the world for celebrity meme coins? By the way, Jason Derulo not really supporting Iggy Azalea's case. Zach XBT coming forward and pointing out that Jason Derulo has not tweeted from his X account now for weeks after dropping his meme coin and declaring that he was here for the community. He also pointed out that it was
Jason Derulo. He just hops on stage and he just does that, and everyone's like, "Oh, he's back, Jason Derulo."
Yep, absolutely. And Zach XBT pointed out that there had been over 15 previous meme coin scams released by this gentleman, Jason Derulo, and also pointed out that there were crypto influencers fully supporting Jason Derulo this go around, which is kind of wild when you think about it. Like, for someone to be experienced in the space and to know what it's like, and for someone like a random ass C-list celebrity to come through and be like, I'm going to drop a meme coin and be like, yeah, let's support the shit out of that. It's kind of wild to me.
Who were the influencers supporting him?
You want me to name
Well,
names?
we can share one. If you've listened to the podcast he did with Mika, he openly discusses the meme coin on there and his support for how Sahil scammed him and how he was not going to let this fail and a whole bunch of other stuff. If you've listened to the podcast, he gives a pretty strong take on the fact that he believes he's going to put up an honest fight for this meme coin. It promptly went to 0. And then yesterday he actually dropped the Tron meme coin that he immediately sold for about $63,000 in profit.
Is her interviewing him though, like her supporting him?
I'll watch the interview. There's
Giving him a
definitely some
platform.
signs of there's definitely some I believe that you're gonna do well type conversation in there.
The only thing about Iggy is she has to like defend people like Derulo. Her argument for celebrities being a meme coin is just I can't do it. Yeah, she's gonna lose. She's gonna lose if she has to support people like
gotta support
him,
Tekashi
Caitlyn Jenner,
6ix9ine,
all these.
Lil
Yeah, it's
Peep,
tough.
6ix9ine.
The list goes on. Jason Derulo, Davido, the DJ who immediately rug pulled on a live space with Ansem for about $1 million during the space. Literally dumped the developer bag during the space while he was on stage. There's been some impressive.
There's never going to be a better time to dump it easy. What do you want?
No. I mean, if I was a developer, you got to dump it right at the Pico top while you're hyping it up live in front of 1,000 people. No better time, I guess. But yeah, I think back against the wall for Iggy Azalea in this debate. It's going to be a little bit difficult.
The only thing that she'll be able to speak to is her own track record of what she's done with her token.
For sure.
Because she actually has, like you were just talking about the festival, and then there was the mobile phone platform thing. I haven't really followed up with what exactly is going on there, but she just hasn't like let it, completely go.
If Iggy wants to win this, you need to turn it around and basically just drive into the conversation that it's if a meme coin's bad, all coins are bad type of approach, and basically get Eric Wall to have to admit that crypto is bad. Like you try to corner him that like everything goes to 0 inevitably. Bring up L2s, bring up tokens from 2018. Like you got to come out firing if you're Iggy and just compare it to basically everything else that inherently goes down. Like that's really your only counter argument.
I think he's going to fire like a shotgun does. It's going to be interesting. Look at this chart, by the way. This is a pretty good chart here.
It looks bottomed out to me.
Yes, Miguel Ribeiro there pointing out Derulo's history. Mr. Yellow with an interesting comment. He said, what's the difference in percent success between celebrity and non-celebrity meme coins? It's a good comment to throw out there that if I was Iggy Azalea, perhaps I would approach things the same way. The result, though, of that comment is still like, well, our shit's going to go to 0, which begs, that it kind of poses the question, well, why do it in the first place then, right? Because you're just kind of, it's just very extractive versus making a legitimate contribution, right? So, okay, that'll be interesting. Any other thoughts on Eric Wall versus Iggy Azalea here?
No.
We said everything that we need to say. So look, Nick, you wanted segments. We got a game show segment, another round of Am I the Asshole? Which, if I recall, you actually were okay with this segment before. Ray wanted to roll this out today. This is Am I the Asshole? In this segment, we present a person.
Find out what happens. Let's see. The last one was a little tough. Are we? Let's see.
Well, let me set the stage here. In this segment, we present an individual's personal story to the panelists. The panelists then judge whether the person, quote, is the asshole or whether they, quote, are not the asshole based on the validity of their dilemma. Here's today's dilemma. Nick, please.
I'm scrolling down to it. Give me 1 second.
Nick just did not have the call sheet open. Go ahead.
Here we go. Last semester, my friends and I started a crypto investing club. In total, we have 35 members, all of which are guys. We were able to get a room to use on afternoons. However, when we tried to get funding for our university group, they said that we need to have at least 2 women in our club and that the university doesn't allow all male clubs. Now, mind you, wow, this story is getting real good. Now, mind you, we didn't make this into a male crypto club, just no women joined. So me and some friends just said we were women on our application. We temporarily identified as women and we got funding and a professor to join us. I told some friends about it, and while most are supportive, some are mad at me for not looking for an actual woman to join our club or for actual women to join. This is good. I like this.
You like this? Well, what do you think?
I'm in support of this club. I think they were getting around some bullshit, archaic rules. It's the same thing where, like, in Massachusetts, you can't have sororities.
In the city of Boston.
Yeah. Sorry, in the city of Boston, you can't have sorority houses because they're categorized as whorehouses if it's over.
Brothel. The documentation says brothel.
Okay, got it. Same thing. If it's how many women living in the house?
Over 4.
Over 4 women.
I know this because I went to college in Boston and did apartments with people, and we had 6 dudes in an apartment at one point, which is also illegal because over 4 dudes is like, I don't remember the language. It ain't a brothel. It's not a gigolo, network. I don't
just call that a whorehouse. Like that one is that's the verbiage for that one.
It's a bunch of gay men.
Nice. Signal.
You gay if you have more than 6 people or 4 men living in a house, you're gay.
That is why the law exists. But yes, over 4 women is a brothel. In Cambridge, though, you can have fraternities. So we went to frat parties in Alston, in Cambridge, those places. Anyway, well, not Alston, actually. Those were just apartments. But Cambridge had the MIT frat houses. Harvard does, too. I never went to one of those parties, though. That's hard to get into. Signal, who's the asshole in this story?
Oh, I love what he did. I mean, if I was, because like, I remember like in college, like at the university, there were certain subjects where there were no women. So like all no men. So arts history, full of women. Maths was basically pretty much all men. I don't want to say maths, but like this happens in subjects as well. I would have done exactly the same thing as him. I would have, but if we were like a group of girls, and I had a buddy called, say, Max, I would have been like, hey, Max, can you just pretend to be a guy on the form so we can just get our little crypto club, just like speed run through the treasury? I like him. He's not an asshole. He's thinking creatively. So yeah, I'm on his side.
Well, funny enough, Ray pointed out that the Reddit commenters almost universally deemed this person to be the asshole. Ray.
Yeah, so I'm sharing it now. I'm scrolling through this. Just for context here, YTA means you're the asshole. So like everybody is like, you're the asshole. As a college administrator, I can tell you're violating student code of conduct. You're the asshole, obviously. You're the asshole.
Out of here.
Most all male things aren't officially all male. They're just hostile to women.
Reddit is soft as Reddit's soft.
You're the asshole on Reddit.
Soft.
It's kind of like, I'm sorry, but it's kind of like, yeah, I don't know. I find it a bit like all ridiculous going back to my point of like art history. It was pretty much all girls in that class. So what are you going to do? Just like go up to like the guys and be like, we're looking for 2 guys. You have to join art history so we can hit a certain quota, even though these guys have no interest in art history. They actually want to be doing like a completely different subject. That's what I kind of feel like is double standards here.
This is so bullshit, basically. Anyways, it's not really the world's most significant conflict. If I'm being honest, like I think we need some more like extreme conflict situations. This is like literally being like, oh, I got the water cup and filled it up with soda, like at Chipotle. Oh shit, are you the asshole?
I mean, that is theft.
I'm down with taking the water cup approach.
Wow. Okay, well, there you go.
Saying that, I did think they missed out on an opportunity to talk to girls. That's actually, so they could have actually turned it into a silver lining for themselves. It's a group of guys who probably just all hang out with other guys and don't know how to talk to girls. And that would have been the opportunity to go and actually talk to a real girl and be like, do you want to join my crypto club? And then she would have said no, but then at least you could have had a conversation around crypto. So that's the opportunity I see missed.
No, but now what they can do is they can also continue that conversation. And she's like, no, I don't want to join. And then he can say, but now I'm rich. And she's like, oh my God, let's go on a date.
Facts. Absolutely. That's right.
That's exactly how it would have gone.
Look, ladies and gentlemen, another just action-packed edition of Am I the Asshole? Everybody's favorite new segment. We're going to do it every day. But real quick, ladies and gentlemen, just a reminder that the show is brought to you in partnership with BullX. If you aren't familiar with BullX, you should get familiar by going to bodogos.com/BullX. And what you can think of BullX as is a tool that's designed to help you significantly improve your meme coin trading through a suite of advanced features. So there's a feature called Pump Vision, and what that's designed to do is to give you a real-time dashboard of new Pump.Fund tokens and also tokens that are about to graduate from Pump.Fund. There's limit order functionality too that'll allow users to, essentially make a strategy and deploy it, so that you don't have to just be glued in front of the computer all day. You can execute a strategy in a more automated way, one that's more similar to traditional trading, if you were trading stocks or something like that, or crypto for that matter. And then, of course, there's a charting terminal, which any experienced trader is going to need, and you can track multiple token charts in the same window. And last but not least, there's wallet management options that are super easy. You can do one-click wallet creation. You can create wallet groups. It's really good stuff. So if you're trying to level up your meme coin trading game, make sure you sign up for BullX. That's BULLX. You can sign up at bodogos.com/BullX. It's a multi-chain trading platform with support for Solana, for BAYC, for ETH, and most recently for Tron. Easy, any other context that we should give there?
I don't think anything too major here. Like we said, I think the key things are the new features on the Tron version of this, which you're seeing on the screen here. So multi-channel views of different charts. There's also a variety of other key components that rolled out with the Tron experience that are going to come to the traditional BullX experience that we've seen. I mean, we could even see ratio on the screen here. It's roughly 3 out of 4 have since gone to 0. So quality charts on the Tron ecosystem for sure. But no, I think BullX just in general is hands down the best tool that you can use right now if you're still in the meme coin tranches or the trenches, regardless of where it is you're trading all these fun tokens from dev sells, dev buys, bubble map holdings, analytics, everything you could possibly get in one location. It's just the best place to trade.
Absolutely. So bodogos.com/BullX. That's /BULLX. Ray has it on screen. I'm sure it's pinned on the Twitter Spaces as well. Big shout out to our partners at BullX. Speaking of meme coins, meme coin volume, and whether it is related to Solana price. We've seen Solana have a volatile couple of months, obviously, but that's expected. It shows significant strength every time there's an overall rebound in Bitcoin and crypto. Here's a tweet from Luke Martin that's suggesting that when you overlay the Pump.Fund launches on top of the Solana price chart, Solana stopped going up almost exactly when people started launching tons of meme coins. Nick, do you think there's validity to this? You think meme coins are holding the price of Solana back?
No.
I don't either.
This doesn't make any sense whatsoever.
I think it's a coincidence. Because Solana meme coins are not holding back the price of Bitcoin. And Bitcoin is operating very similar to Solana.
The counter argument would be ETH meme coins right now are rallying extremely hard on this new product called Vista that launched. It's like a pump fund on ETH. So theoretically, if this were the case on the counter side, wouldn't ETH be pumping right now based on this new thing that's had multiple $30-40 million market cap coins come from it?
Well, not according to this chart.
This is Solana.
I'm looking at this chart here, and I'm thinking that it's really just pointing out that tokens launching is like a lagging indicator behind Solana price. Solana pumps, then people launch a bunch of tokens. It hit like a peak velocity as Solana kind of chopped. And now that Solana's chopping and kind of downward, people have stopped launching tokens.
That's fair. And maybe, well, if that's the case, then, but what Easy's saying, if, given what you said, Ray, is that ETH should have already pumped, right?
Well, we haven't seen this sort of volume on ETH. I mean, Ether Vista is new and like it's not getting a crazy amount of like new launches. It's not as easy as Pump Fund. You still have to like do the contract yourself. But I mean, it definitely is kind of the meta of the last week or two.
So Easy, what would be your prediction for the Ethereum side?
Significantly less tokens. I don't think ETH pumps off of it. I think there's some early winners, similar to what we just saw with Sun Pump and Tron. I think ETH will have a little bit more staying power because people are familiar with ETH meme coins. I think once you get like a good runner on base I think that's where a lot of meme coin action will take place on the EVM chains, just because of the gas fees and transaction settlement layer. ETH mainnet's always a little bit more difficult, but it's why people say gas is a feature, not a bug. So Ray, I think you're actually wrong about the Vista needing to deploy your own contract. I think they give you it out of the box. You just preset the variables.
I'll need to see if they changed it, but when it first launched, it was basically they provided you with the launch function that like basically lock liquidity, set the fees, but you still needed to provide your own contract. It wasn't like a one click, but I could be wrong. I haven't tried to create a token on the platform. So
we're not going to launch a token, Ray. That is not something we're going to do.
What if it's in terms of like research later today when we meet for a call? Well, you know,
we can talk.
Yeah.
Ray's just launching meme coins left to right behind the scenes.
Learning.
I guess, look, we can discuss this, but I guess my Bitcoin brain just goes to the fact that if Bitcoin goes up by $20,000 over the next month, which I don't believe that it's going to, but just using it as an extreme example, Solana's price is going to go up. It doesn't matter what's happening in the Solana meme coin world at all. It has no impact on anything. So does any of this matter at all? Probably not. Like, it literally doesn't matter. If Bitcoin goes up, Solana's going to go up.
Oh, price-wise, yeah, but I call me crazy. I think meme coins in general are actually a net positive.
Yeah, I think so too. It's activity on the chain.
And it's the easiest path forward for, quote, retail to understand something. They see a meme online and understand that they can fractionalize it and make money if that meme continues to hold virality. Like, that's like literally the easiest way to explain it. You see a meme, it makes you laugh. Do you think it's going to continue to go viral? Like, I think of like the Costco guys, the double chunk chocolate chip and the chicken bake. Like, if you could just bet on them continuing to hold mainstream attraction in some capacity, it makes sense to people outside the space.
This Costco guys is pretty funny.
So funny. I think they're so funny.
They're still going.
It's still going. They have a podcast now, dude.
Pretty wild stuff. Nick's got a little smile there. He's not a Costco guy. This guy's a Sam's Club guy.
Yeah, diehard BJ's guy. Big BJ's guy. Not a Sam's Club guy, not a Costco guy.
Okay.
And he doesn't have sex ever.
Ever. That's why Ape Chain put him in that bottom corner. Put him in the corner, dude.
Nick, is your mic on?
Yeah.
We can talk to me. I didn't hear you. That was weird.
I couldn't hear you for a moment. I think it was just drowned out by me and Easy talking over each other and you. Anyway, Nick, any other thoughts on activity on the Solana chain via meme coins, anything like that? He's a Pellegrino guy on Lee Quality Productions just pointed out.
No, I'm good.
Okay. Do you want to pull up a chart? Is there anything that you'd like to do, Nick, besides that? Am I the asshole? Anything crypto related? Potentially, maybe? Anything?
No, I feel like we went long enough. It was a good show. And yeah, it was great. Really enjoyed this. Really enjoy all of you.
Well, there you go. Look, ladies and gentlemen, the show is brought to you in partnership with BullX. Again, this is a multi-chain trading platform. Has support for Sol, Base. Nick just peeled back the curtain on the new character for just a moment. Sol, Base, ETH, and most recently Tron, of course. It's a full suite of very advanced products that are designed to make trading meme coins a better experience and just a stronger performing one. So there's the Pump Vision product, which Ray has on the screen right now. It provides a real-time dashboard of new pump.fun tokens and also the tokens that are about to graduate. There's limit order functionality too that'll get you away from the laptop and allow you to trade meme coins like a pro trader, the way that you would trade traditional crypto or TradFi assets. There's a charting terminal, which, like we've talked about, everybody needs, which other platforms have done for NFTs. Well, here's a proper one with advanced features for multiple charts in the same window for meme coins. And then, of course, wallet management made easy with one-click wallet creation, option to create wallet groups. Really good stuff there. So go to bodoggos.com, bodoggos.com/bullx. That's BULLX. to sign up. And big shout out to BullX, directly aligned with our organization, with our show, with our audience. Big fans of the BullX platform for meme coin trading. Nick?
Well, a couple of quick notes. ApeCoin is up 5% ever since they tweeted about me. So I'm glad to provide them with some temporary relevance. The other thing I was going to say is, Easy, have you been watching the Sol ETH chart? Very exciting.
Yeah. I mean, like, I like the Sol BTC chart a little more. And I still like DXY here. I love the DXY chart because it just looks real weak. real weak.
But look at Sol ETH to me is the biggest one.
You need a breakout here for it to keep running. But like they could reject pretty hard here if we do get some ETH legs on it. Like this is a moment of truth in my opinion. Pull up that DXY chart real quick. See, I like the Bitcoin one a little better because it looks like a flag. This one, if this drops down here under 100, it's going so low. And it looks like it probably will if we get rate cuts and more printing. Like this is going to drop back down to like that 95 area, 94.
Mm-hmm.
Very
And
interesting.
does
that's
that mean,
real
Izzy?
good for risk on assets. What?
What does that mean when it goes
It means
under
the dollar
100?
is going to
goes into-
become worth less. So theoretically, like rates drop, dollar becomes worth less, which means risk on assets are where the store of value goes back to. We've already seen the stock market continue to push all-time high. And that to me is like probably the best sign for crypto as a risk on asset, and like probably the most risk on asset that TradFi now has capital to be able to infuse into that space. So if the dollar keeps declining and the dollar becomes weaker, then we're going to continue to see them try to pump the economy, give out money, quantitative easing, all the buzzwords that get the market ramped up and going again. Because if the dollar is worth less, we need something to be worth more for the U.S. economy to have strong legs. I mean, we're already seeing job report data come in extremely weak, the lowest number of open job opportunities since like last 5 or 6 years, which is crazy. And they had to revise the last 2. So like we're seeing the economy, like they just refuse to say the word recession, but it seems pretty damn clear we've been in one for a full calendar year, and they just don't want to acknowledge it. We have inflation rising, consumer spending declining, and jobs reports all declining, with the highest number of on-the-market houses we've seen since 2008, which is like all of this data is just showing that people don't have cash right now, and the only way to solve that is to drop rates, print more money, give people money, stimulate the economy, which drops the value of the dollar.
The setup for 2025 is such a cook, dude. All that
it's
stuff
gonna fly, dude. Like
all that
absolutely fly.
What you just talked about, plus go to Polymarket and see a 7% lead for the more bullish candidate out of the 2 for assets. Although the other candidate is also bullish, don't get it twisted. Absolutely bullish for sure. Either candidate is, but the stronger of the 2 is in the lead right now. So it's a crazy setup.
The more interesting thing though is the CFTC coming out and trying to put charges against cryptocurrency in general, which people think that that's a negative. But if we can get crypto marked as a commodity, that's a beautiful thing. Like we just need some clarity. I don't give a shit where it comes from. Just tell me if it's a commodity or a security. I want it to be a commodity because then it fits in the same bucket as gold, silver, grains, a lot of those things, like physical goods, which still the argument can be made that like it should have its own entire thing, like its own digital currency.
Crypto will probably eventually have its own kind of designation.
Full regulatory framework. Yeah,
I
agree.
Bitcoin is objectively a commodity and always will be, declared as such. But like if we launch a crypto coin that, is DeFi integrated and blah, 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 and you can take us to court about it, it's closer to a security, but not exactly a security because of the decentralized network nature of it versus like a business. Nick's smiling. What's going on, Nick? Let me have it.
There's nothing.
Okay. What do you think about everything Easy said about the DXY and where we're at and whether there's a recession and what 2025 might shape up to be?
He may be right. I hope that he is. And I hope that my crypto bag's pumped to the absolute moon.
I think you might be in luck.
If I could finally afford to buy a studio apartment.
You want a studio apartment?
I think just a studio apartment, that would be just incredible. If I could have a studio apartment and afford to own that, that'd be great.
Are you thinking like garden level studio too? Or are you thinking like
on the corner of a street in New York City on the first floor?
No, garden level below the first floor. It's like eye view is just the sidewalk.
Dude, I'm just looking into someone's whole ass life with their first floor corner unit, big windows on the first floor. I'm just like, this is wild, man. Like, this is not private. I could throw a fucking brick through your window right now. This is crazy.
I could throw a brick through your window, and then what I could do is murder your family. And then I could also steal everything in your apartment. What type of life are you living, huh? That's what Pio's thinking when he walks his dog. Is how he's going to terrorize.
Like, wow, what a beautiful view! They make food there. They sleep there. I can murder them in this room over here. Okay, this is beautiful. Just one brick through that window.
He's gonna terrorize them. He's like plotting how he's gonna like rob their stuff, basically.
Dude, Nick, every time you talk about making your millions, my only wish for you is like not to spend those millions on property in New York. You just got to make that money go further so you can get more than a studio apartment. That's my wish to you. But on Easy's point about everything he was saying, I don't think the word recession can be even used between now and November, because what the new president will need to say in January is that I got handed a bad economy. It was in a recession. That's when you'll hear the word recession. And because of that, I now have to do X, Y, Z to make sure that we get back on track. That is why we're not hearing negative words about the economy as we go into November. But I'm very much on the same page as you. The 2025 outlook could actually look a lot brighter depending who will be elected come January. Or come November, but elected in January.
Either one is bullish. Real quick, Blake said, how much is the HOA, the homeowners association fee on a studio apartment in New York?
What building you're in?
Yeah, depends. Nick would know better than me. I'd say minimum, if you want a reasonable building, so not like 100-year-old building, but a quasi-modern building with a doorman, you're looking at least $800 a month, right?
Yeah. If you have a modern building, 100%. I think it's probably like in the at least $1,000 for like the building that I'm in. Although I don't know. I think like my HOA for this apartment that I'm in right now would probably be like $1,500.
Yeah, for that apartment building in that apartment, I'd say it'd be at least $1,500. But the amenities in that apartment are very strong. My apartment's a rental
gym in that thing. I'll give you that.
My apartment is a rental building, so I don't think this is relevant for it. But I think the condos down the street would be at least like $1,100 for a 1-bedroom HOA fee. So think about it. You could buy the thing in cash, and then you're still paying $1,100 a month plus property taxes. Think about that.
Yeah, the HOA is the thing that ends up like fucking a lot of the numbers here. It's also crazy, like the price of the apartments are not going up in price in this building, which is interesting. Like on the rental basis, it's just because this neighborhood sucks. But
Nick's neighborhood has the best apartment value that you could ever find. All the apartments are brand new. They're so nice. The amenities slap. Nick's building's fucking insane. But the neighborhood itself might be one of the worst neighborhoods in New York that people actually live in, that like young professionals and people that work in Manhattan and stuff live in. Obviously, you can go to the deep hood in like, Brooklyn or Queens or the Bronx, and it's not going to be as good as where Nick lives. But I lived in Nick's neighborhood for a year, and it is a wild contrast of like people that make $500,000 living in the neighborhood with families and living in really nice apartments, and just the shittiest neighborhood when it comes to like restaurants, things.
People actually shitting on the street.
Homeless people shitting on the street, which Easy saw in his very small sample size of it. Like it was like 3 p.m. We're just walking down the street, and a guy just bends over.
30 seconds. I had just gotten.
Theo's statement about my neighborhood is absolutely ridiculous. But anyways,
how?
Bro, I rode my bike to Atlantic Beach in last or 2 weekends ago, and the situation there's people that live out there, if you believe it.
So, my buddy lives in South Brooklyn.
People actually live.
I'm not understanding your logic here.
Far Rockaway is a piece of shit. Like, people actually live there.
Yeah, I'm talking about that cosmopolitan New Yorkers live in. Far Rockaway? Well, like, that's far. It's literally in the name. It's in the name, far.
All right, we got to wrap.
Uncle Heath, we got New York support right here. Look at this. What are you talking about? Move to my neighborhood. It's easy. Just move here. You can afford it. You'd love it. You might not have heated floors in the bathroom, but I feel like that's a concession that's worth making.
Whatever. Let's wrap this show.
The show's available on Apple and Spotify podcasts, ladies and gentlemen, on YouTube. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. If you live in Far Rockaway, you live pretty far from New York, but still shout out to you. I got a good buddy that lives in South Brooklyn. Very good people out there. No question. No disrespect there. Was just making a point about living in cosmopolitan New York. Anyway, catch you guys tomorrow. We do the show Monday through Friday. Tomorrow's last show of the week, 9 a.m. Eastern time, available on Twitter Spaces and X platform streaming as well. Subscribe subscribe to the YouTube. Check it out. Nick, what's so funny? We're about to wrap. Yeah, anything? All right. See you guys.